Christmas break is supposed to be relaxing. Family, food, doing almost nothing. Except, I'm a game developer, and I'm always working on portfolio projects. So I ventured into this vacation with a plan. This was a family vacation over Christmas break, traveling to Oslo and Tromsø, Norway. We had a full schedule of sightseeing, travel days, and a lot of time together. But I also went into this trip wanting to work on a game. Before the trip even started, I set a very specific goal. I wanted to create a small gameplay prototype built around a single core mechanic. After the vacation, I'd bring it to a complete state and upload it to itch.io. It wouldn't be a full game, just a focused prototype that really explored that mechanic. Now, after mentioning the core gameplay mechanic, you're probably wondering, what is it? Well, this clip should explain it.
So I fired again, and I missed, and then I missed.
That's right. The core mechanic of this prototype is missing. Here's how it works. Your gun has a cone showing the bullet spread. But here's the twist. A dead zone in the middle. No bullets fly there. Everything fires around the edges of the cone instead. So even if you aim directly at your target, you'll always miss. That target, always. It's simple, but surprisingly tricky to manage with the mouse cursor. Aside from the concept, I also prepared a lot of the groundwork. I created art assets in Aseprite, downloaded a few asset packs from Kenny NL, and even filmed some cutscenes. In hindsight, I massively overestimated how much time I actually had to work on this while in Norway. Those cutscenes won't even show up until the game is finished later. To prepare for the trip, I picked up the Lenovo IP Slim for under $300 and set it up with Linux, Godot, and all the assets I needed. I don't like the current state of Windows 11. That's why I got Linux. And if you're wondering why Godot, 3 reasons. I wanted to learn it, it runs well on a simple laptop like this, and the spirit, not literally, of a friend convinced me. One final item on the to-do list was to make a LinkedIn post before leaving. Here it is. I didn't bring Bing Bong with me, mostly due to storage space, but also because I tend to have poor experiences flying. It's basically the Will Wheaton dice curse, but for air travel. With everything mostly prepared, I headed into work one last time, got home around 10 PM, and went to bed at 11, hoping our flights wouldn't be cursed by my luck. My alarm blared at 3 AM. We packed our bags and drove to the airport. The first travel issue occurred before we even left the first airport. My boarding pass had an error and I had to return to the ticket counter. And through TSA again. Yep, twice. Our transfer from Amsterdam to Oslo was very short and we barely made it on the plane. When we finally landed in Oslo, only 3 bags showed up on the belt. 3 bags total for all the passengers on the flight. Apparently, we moved faster than our bags at the Amsterdam airport. So we went to customer service. We provided our information to get all 6 bags onto the next flight towards Oslo. However, while we were filling out the forms, their computer system crashed. So after about half an hour of answering questions, we lost all of our progress. With no ETA on a fix, we were told to fill it out ourselves online later. Since everything we owned, including our winter coats, was in those bags, and yes, one of us had the idea of packing all of our coats into a checked bag in the middle of winter, not the greatest idea. We had to buy a change of clothes and basic toiletries while we waited for our luggage to arrive. Eventually, we made it to our Airbnb, and some of my family went back to the airport to retrieve our suitcases about 8 hours later. After being awake since 3 AM, I finally took a shower and then a very well-deserved nap. After resting on Christmas Eve, and finally getting our bags, we started exploring Oslo on Christmas Day. Since most stores were closed, we spent the day walking around the city and visiting whatever was open. That included a coffee shop for one of many cups of
varm sjokolade.
We then went on a sauna boat tour. Yes, a boat with a sauna on it. And yes, we jumped into the icy water of the Oslo fjord. On the way back to the Airbnb, we took a stroll through the Christmas market in Oslo, where my family enjoyed moose hamburgers and I opted for some mac and cheese. Christmas Day also marked the first time for actual progress on the game. I created the project, imported the assets, and got a player character up and running. Movement was in, and the gun now followed the mouse. Simple stuff, but setting the foundation for later. The days after Christmas were spent exploring more of the Oslo area. Some of us went to this museum. We went hiking. And we explored the shopping district, where I found a nice gaming shop that had something surprising. Japanese Pokemon booster packs. No scalpers, no limits. Of course I got a few packs. And got this Articuno illustration rare. And with that, development ramped up. During the day, we went to 2 different parks, mostly to see the statues and enjoy the beautiful weather. One of them was the largest single artist statue park in the world. I can't show it here, but you can definitely look it up. The other was more of a general park. It had some great views overlooking Oslo, and these really nice hanging lights in the pixel forest. On the development side, the player character got a visual upgrade, a cowboy hat, and a bandana. I also added a new mechanic, a dodge slide, which makes perfect sense for a penguin character, right? We then went shopping for other items. Within a fishing store, we found this Kyogre fishing lure. It's a limited item, but sadly, we didn't buy it. Speaking of Pokemon, I bought a few more packs and pulled even more rare cards. All of this somehow led to actual development progress. I created a shooting cone, just the base cone for now. We then transitioned into a different apartment and walked through a nearby park. All of that movement ended up influencing the game as well. The player now waddles, has a proper shadow, and the bullet dead zone was finally implemented. On New Year's Eve, we went shopping again, this time for New Year's Eve snacks. And as the final feature for 2025, I implemented the full shooting mechanics, missing and all. Not long after, we started a new year preparing for another flight. At this point, the game finally had its mechanic. But the trip was far from over. So that's it for part 1. So far, the game has a player with movement, a dodge slide, and a full shooting system built around the dead zone mechanic. But this is just a prototype. The full project will include a story, cutscenes with voice acting, real levels, and a boss fight. As for the name of this project, it is Mist of Fate. If this project interests you, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Bite Penguin or Bite Penguin Studios. They're both me. Any support genuinely helps. And stay tuned for part 2 of Mists of Fate's development.